Hello team. So today I'm going to talk about this extension called AI Toolkit for Visual Studio Code. This is by Microsoft and it lets you play around with different models, for example, from OpenAI, Anthropic and all. And you can work around with models which are hosted on GitHub as well as your own Azure AI environment. And you can try different things. For example, you can play around with different type of models. And as I said, you can use models deployed on GitHub, your own Azure AI instance, as well as any local model. Then you have a playground also, so you can compare different output of a particular prompt as such with playground. You can build agents using agent builders. What you can do is essentially you can write a system prompt and then you can write some tools, and these tools could be MCP tools also. You can do a bulk run. So for example, you want to test across multiple models simultaneously, you can do that. You have matrices like model evaluation, so you can work out as such and find out which models are performing good and so on. You can also do fine tuning and some model conversion. So in today's demo, what we are going to do is we are going to see a simple example of playground and agent builder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my GitHub account as well as my Azure AI Foundry account to run few models. So let's get started. So here is how the AI toolkit looks like. And what you can do is you can have separate models. So what I have done is I have connected with my GitHub account as well as my Azure AI Foundry to load these four models. And what you have is you can go to catalog and you can select how do you instantiate or enable a model. So you have different publishers and all. So you can have GitHub, you can have Azure AI Foundry, you can have local models through Ollama. All of that is supported. So for example, if you see, I have added via GitHub GPT-4o. That's what it is showing here. It here. I can have other models also. So for example, I can add, let's say, code string. So it is going to reflect it here. So that's how you can do. And then definitely you can have Azure AI Foundry model also hosted. So what you need to do is you need to connect with your Azure AI Foundry. And once you do it, you will be able to see whatever models you have deployed and you can deploy it there. So this is about models as such. Now, two of the things which we are going to show is one is playground. So basically what you can do is with playground, you can do things like, working out with few models and so on. And the best feature is you can compare two models. So for example, what you can do is you can click on compare. So let me say that you want to compare these two. So let's say you wanted to compare 5.4 via GitHub with GPT-4o, which is in Azure AI Foundry. So let me write a prompt. So for example, the prompt will be write a, let's say, write a fast API template with authentication. And I'm going to just press enter. So has here GPT-4o via Azure AI Foundry, started generating few things. So if you see, it produce the result like what you need to install. I'm just referring to this one which is in Azure AI Foundry. What things are required, what you can do, and so on. And similarly, what you can do is 5.4 from GitHub produce the same thing. Again, you can select which answer do you like and so on, and then you can use it. So this is about playground. So you can compare models and so on. So you have another feature called agent builder. And basically what you can do is you can have a system prompt and a set of tools and you can try a few things there. So for example, let me close all of this. Let me have a new agent. I will put it the name as this. By the way, when you work on playground, you will also get to see the code also, so that's one of the good feature. So you need to install something called Azure AI Inference, and where you can connect with different models from GitHub, Azure, OpenAI, and so on. Then you can use it. So it's pretty simple. So you can have the code part also available to you. So for example, now we'll come back to agent builder. So we can work out with some specific use cases. Now what I will do is, let me come up with something which is already there. So for example, let me talk about web scraper. So here is a prompt which is generated, and what it is going to do is, it is going to go to example.com and try to scrape it. So I will just make some changes. So first of all, rather than using GPT-4o from GitHub, I will be using GPT-4o from Azure AI Foundry. So you have to select a model. Then what we are going to do is, we are going to see the system prompt. Let me see where it is. So here is the system prompt. So it has some task given, like you are a web exploration assistant. So this is the system prompt. Now what I will do is, I will just change this one, give a summary, and I will type something called, let's say, cnn.com. So basically what is going to happen is, we have a system prompt, we have a user prompt where we are saying go to cnn.com and perform the following task, which is give a summary. And behind the scenes, we have selected a template where we are already connected with one MCP server for playwright, and you have all the tools that are available. So again, you can select your own tools and all. So let me try to run it, and again you can view the code also. So let me see what happens. So it went to cnn.com. It is going to summarize, possibly. Let's see the answer. Interesting. Let me again run. So here it is saying too many requests, but no worries. So basically, here is the whole evaluation of what it tried to do. So let me select some other model. So I will select a model like GPT-4o mini. Then I will have the same thing, and let me try now. So maybe it is going to go to cnn.com, then it is going to collect everything. I believe the response is too much big for the GPT-4o models, that's why it's not performing as such. But yes, now it's summarized. So if you see homepage summary, it gave you the answer. So yeah, with this specific model GPT-4o mini, it was able to generate the summary. So this is a example of agent builder, and again, as I said, you have the code also. So you can select Azure AI Inference SDK or Semantic Kernel SDK. I will select Azure AI Inference SDK. So basically, I have this Python script which I can run. So you need to provide some keys and all, and you can put it into environment variable and can deploy at any place. You have connectivity with MCP server and all. All of that code is generated for you to run and view. So that's it, team. That's it for today. So we'll explore more this AI toolkit. Maybe we'll go next time on bulk run evaluation and other stuff. Maybe fine tuning also. So thanks teams. Thanks for watching. Bye.